But Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Ghost and to keep back part of the price of the land? And we know this story and we know how it ends, that because he lied to the apostles, but furthermore, he lied to the Holy Ghost, that he died instantaneously. And we read this story and we think to ourselves, why is it that they didn't have enough conviction to not lie at the apostles' feet? Why is it that they didn't have enough conviction to tell the truth and to bring the whole sum? But why is it that we don't have enough conviction today, that we are holding back every part of us? We're not giving all of us. We're giving part of us, and we're holding back part of us, and we're coming to church and we're giving a partial sacrifice, and we're sitting at the altar and we're giving a part of a worship, and we're coming to church and we're giving a partial praise. And so God is asking his people in this hour, when am I going to get all of you? When am I going to get all of your mind and all of your heart? When are you going to love me with your whole soul? Because you're asking for the fullness of your blessings, and you're praying for a full harvest, and you want me to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you could ever ask or think. But when I ask for it in return, you give me bits and you give me pieces. You give me parts of who you are. You give me pieces of obedience. You give me part of your worship. You give me a section and a segment of your praise. So before we analyze Ananias, before we lie to the Holy Ghost even today, check your own self and say, have I given him my all? Because maybe if you gave him your all, the Lord could release what it is that you're praying for. Maybe if you wouldn't give him the part and the piece, he could give you the fullness and the abundance of what he wants to release to you. This is an hour in a season where God is looking for those that want to worship him in spirit and in truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Let that be our prayer in this season, that we don't want to just give him a part, but we want to give him the whole sum of who we are. We want to wake up early and give him our all. We want to lay down at night and say, Lord, today I gave you my all. I didn't just give you a piece of study time, and I didn't give you a partial prayer time, but I poured out my whole soul. Hannah prayed and she poured it all out. And because she poured it all, the Lord said, your request has been granted in this season, because there was a season where you gave me a partial prayer. There was a season where you gave me a part of intercession, a little bit of praise, and you gave me a little bit of worship. But now, because you're giving me your all, what does giving him your all look like? It means, God, if you want that toxic relationship, I'll give it to you. God, if you don't want me to accept the 6-figure job, I'll give it to you. God, if you don't want me to do this, I'll give it to you. God, if you want me to release what I really love, God, whatever possession I have, I will give it to you, because I want to give you my all, because you give me everything and so much more. And so gone are the days where we can come into the house of God and lay down a partial sacrifice and give him a partial obedience and give him a half yes, and the other half of us is saying no. But we've got to give God our all, because there are people in this world that wish they had the access that you had. There are people in this world that are praying for the favor that you walk in, and because we have such a spirit of entitlement, we think that we can give a partial sacrifice and require all from God. It's the same spirit that Cain operated in. He was jealous at Abel, but Abel gave his all. Abel gave his best. Abel gave his first. Instead of being jealous at your neighbor, and instead of you envying and coveting what somebody else has, ask yourself, maybe they're giving God their all. Maybe they had to sacrifice what they loved. Maybe they had to relinquish what they really wanted to hold on to. And so before you envy somebody else, ask yourself, am I giving God my all?